Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea transfer news. Things are heating up. We're getting a better, a clearer picture of exactly what was the plan with Anselmino. Some of you guys guessed it. I started picking it up later on, and it is now true. It looks like Chelsea Football Club wants to take Anselmino from Dortmund, which they have. They've recalled him back, and they want to send him to Strasbourg so we can bring Mamadou Sarr. Now, in all honesty, it seems fine for us as a Chelsea fan, as a Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, we want Mamadou Sarr back. We probably would have even liked to keep Anselmino because there's a talented player there. But nonetheless, ultimately, I wanted an experienced CP, but that's not going to happen. This is the situation. As I said, from a fan base perspective, yeah, seems quite fair, right? Like, yeah, Anselmino, you go there. Mamadou Sarr, you come here. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, is this really fair? This is the biggest topic we want to talk about. There are other bits and bobs that's floating about. There's information in regards to Jeremy Jacquet. There's information in relation to Disasi, where his destination is going to be, and so on and so forth. Busy couple of days coming up until the end of this window, but this news is the biggest one right now. Anselmino, for me, ladies and gentlemen, it is an unfair treatment. It really is. The kid was having a really good time at Dortmund, albeit through injuries, but ultimately he was having a very good time there. Dortmund liked him. Dortmund manager liked him. He was developing. He was doing well. He was actually becoming one of the most, one of the more important players. I wouldn't say most important, but one of the more important players for Dortmund. He started to create a bit of, attachment to that football club. He was crying when he had to leave and he got the news. Now, what we're doing is we've taken him away from where he was doing well, where he was enjoying. We've taken him away from there for our benefit. None of it is his benefit at all. For our benefit, and now we just want to throw him to Strasbourg because we want Mamadou Sarr back. Mamadou Sarr is our player as well, by the way. And it's unfair in many levels, not just unfair for Anselmino. Is this fair for Strasbourg as well? Now, some of you guys might be sitting there and thinking, oh, we don't care. We don't care. It's Chelsea Football Club. We do what's best for us. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not some sort of a, stock market commodity that you can just move from this place to that place, buy, sell, just treat them like they're not human beings. They are human beings. There's emotions attached. Strasbourg fans, we've already taken Liam Rossignol from them. How do you think they're going to feel by taking Mamadou Sarr as well? Now, look, I know there was talks about us bringing back our player, and he is our player. Mamadou Sarr is our player. What seems to be the problem? The problem is you can't just simply loan and then take back halfway through the season when they're trying to do something important as well. It just shows poor planning from our end to do all of this stuff now. This should have been done in the summer window. Why was there a need to send Mamadou Sarr in the first place? It seems like we didn't assess what we have in the likes of Disasi, in the likes of Tosin, in the likes of Badiashile. We didn't assess what we have. And here we are in this mess. And we can't seem to get the Jeremy Jacquet transaction done as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know your thoughts. Let's go through the news. This is the latest coming from Fabrice Hawkins. When it comes to French news, this guy's top T. Breaking, Chelsea would like to bring back Mamadou Sarr and are considering sending Aaron Anselmino to Strasbourg. There is an issue. Anselmino does not want to go. I'm not surprised he doesn't want to go. Ultimately, yes, he's contracted to Chelsea. He should listen to Chelsea, but hold on a second. You can't just throw me around like that. I've been developing in Dortmund. Now you want to throw me to Strasbourg like, I'm a human being. I was adapting there. I was only starting to adapt. Now you want to adapt at France. What's the guarantee that I'm going to, get the game time from Gary O'Neill? What's the guarantee that I'm actually going to adapt at Strasbourg? So for me, look, it's an unfair treatment. I don't want to see Chelsea Football Club get into all this sort of mess. And this is the mess that we've been in multiple times. We've done this with several other kids, sending them to loan here, loan there, bring them back, no proper plan. Mark Hughes, another one. We let go of Nicholas Jackson. All of a sudden, Delap gets an injury. We call back Mark Hughes. And guess what happens to Mark Hughes? He barely plays for Chelsea Football Club. Now, what's the future for Mark Hughes? This is the thing. Kendry Páez. So much hype, so much, excitement. Goes to Strasbourg, doesn't do well. Now he's at River Plate for the next 18 months. These youngsters, you got to be careful. I guess the onus is on the youngsters as well. What are you doing? Thinking about signing for Chelsea, all of these. Not every single young player is going to make it at Chelsea Football Club. Simple as that. I'm so happy that the likes of Andre Santos, Estevan Willian, they've made it. But not everyone's going to make it. Achapong hopefully makes it as well. He's an academy player. But not every academy player is going to make it. But players like Anselmino, I just hope that we don't do anything wrong by them because they're talented players. Especially the talented ones. If you're not talented, like, for example, David Dutra Fofana, Chasseret Cassidy, all of these names, we don't hear about them anymore. If you're not talented enough, no problems. We'll move you on. If you're talented, somewhat talented, like Anselmino is, we gotta be very careful how we treat these players. Next up, Jeremy Jacquet only wants to sign for Chelsea. Personal terms have been fully agreed. Both Chelsea and Rennes are playing on Saturday evening. Expect developments after the games. I mean, look, it's good to see that the player's interested about Chelsea. Only wants to sign for us. Personal terms already agreed, which is great. Let's see if this actually happens. Rennes really wants to keep him. They're having an important season, Rennes. And he's a big player, and he's a big part of that important season so far for Rennes. So we shall see what happens till the end of the transfer window. I still think he's not going to come to Chelsea as yet. We might be able to get him done and have him for next summer. But ultimately, I don't think he's going to come yet. And this is why we're doing all of this stuff with Anselmino and Mamadou Sarr, because we want a new centre-back, which is, as I said earlier in many other videos, it's ironic that Maresca wanted a new centre-back as well. And it just poor planning. That's what it all comes down to, poor planning. But once again, no experience, CB, more youth, more youngsters. Is it all going to help us to win the Premier League next season? I don't think so. Chelsea really want Jacquet now. This reminds me of Enzo Fernandez's story when Benfica didn't want him to leave, and then he joined in January. The difference is that Jacquet has no release clause and will be very expensive to let him leave this season. But Chelsea know this and want to try and insist to bring him now. Let's see. Jacquet will be special player, and the race is on. Coming from Fabrizio Romano. Look, I got a bit upset earlier on when I saw this tweet from Fabrizio Romano via PYS. Very special player. Jacquet will be a special player. Jacquet will be a special player. I feel like Fabrizio Romano, stop gaslighting us. Really. If you guys remember, the amount of time Fabrizio Romano used to gaslight about Nkunku being our savior. Nkunku's a top player, don't get me wrong, but he gaslighted us non-stop. Wait till Nkunku comes back from injury. Wait till this happens. The savior, the savior. Just shut your mouth, brother. You report. You don't need to tell us about special players. We will decide whether they're special or not. You don't need to tell us. This sort of stuff, let's see, Jacquet will be a special. These are the things that get into the mind of the fan base, and then they think, oh, we can't miss out on Jacquet. We've got plenty of Jacquet. We've got plenty of kids. We need a solid, experienced, at the highest level, not Tosin. Don't give me, oh, but means we have Tosin, his experience. No, experience of the highest level, Thiago Silva-esque. God damn it, should have just got Thiago Silva. He's playing for Porto. He's keeping clean sheets. Do you know what I mean? Liam Rossignon, Levi Colwill. I spoke to him this morning. He's really good. What a professional. He's working so hard. It's been brilliant to see him back on the pitch running. He's itching to get back, but we need to make sure he feels 100% perfect when he's back. So it's good news. Seems like Levi Colwill is on the way back. More on the news. Yes, could be back before the end of the season, but it's step by step. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. So, look, very, very good news. It'd be nice to have Levi Colwill maybe in the final couple of months, maybe the final month. Who knows if we can go as far as possible in the Champions League. Having someone like Levi Colwill back, who was, before he got injured, was turning out to be a leader. He really was. The final 6-7 matches of the Premier League last season, Conference League final, the Club World Cup, he put on a magnificent show. He started to defend extremely well, and his ability to play the ball from the back was sensational, and he was starting to become a leader. So he's introduction back to the team is only going to be beautiful. If we can get him back before the end of the season, perfect. Get him going, because we've got some important games. We need to be going deep into this competition. Then we're going to have some important games for him to come back to, and then he can work on all of this for the next season as well. Next up, Liam Rossignol said Tyreek George's situation is different and he could leave in a few days. Sad for Tyreek George. He's another one that I thought there's some level of talent there. Obviously, you got to harness that talent. You got to foster that talent. You got to, give it time. But we've got too many young players. How can you give time to all of these players? So Tyreek George, unfortunately, your time's up, and you're going to have to find a solution elsewhere. Sad, but this is the reality. Liam Rossignol, I want Josh Achapong with me in the Chelsea squad. Fantastic. I love the fact that Rossignol likes Achapong. I like Achapong. I know a lot of you guys like Achapong. I just hope Achapong becomes a mainstay at Chelsea. It would be brilliant to see Levi Colwill and Achapong combination someday, or even Achapong in RCB position. I think that would be crazy. Levi Colwill, Achapong, who knows who's in the center of defense. But I think that one day will be magnificent to watch. I just hope that Achapong doesn't go anywhere and that he does keep developing at Chelsea Football Club and keeps getting minutes with us as well. Liam Rossignol on January deadline day coming up. The priority is to make the squad as strong as possible for the rest of the season. Fantastic news. Liam Rossignol signing a CB. It's a possibility, but we look to strengthen every area. Players can come up that you don't expect to come up, whether a midfielder or a winger. I don't want to bring in players for the sake of it. I want to bring in players to make impact, to impact the team. Perfect. That's exactly how it should be. We shouldn't just bring in players willy-nilly. And we've done that many a times. Just brought in players, Bonanote, classic example. No impact. Whoever you bring in must have impact, unless you're bringing in an absolute kid, 16, 17, 18-year-old, that you're looking to just develop down the track. If you're bringing in someone who's potentially going to be part of the starting 11 or in the squad, they've got to provide impact. You don't just bring them in so they just do nothing. Like, for example, Douglas Luiz would have been like that. I honestly think Douglas Luiz, he just would have spent his time in the bench. You might as well use an academy player if that's the case. If you're going to bring in a midfielder, that midfielder needs to start. That midfielder needs to have starting level quality. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, breaking, Axel Disasi is close to joining West Ham on loan. There's some rumors from Di Marzio as well that he's going to Italy, but Fabrizio Romano said categorically there's no Italian club involved. He is going to West Ham. We've got West Ham coming up next. We shall see what happens there. Look, Disasi, how you haven't gone yet, how you haven't left, I don't know whether it's the fault of us, whether it's the fault of you, whether it's the fault of your agent, whoever it is. You've all messed up. Disasi, you've messed up. Agent messed up. Chelsea messed up. How is Disasi didn't go last summer and still yet hasn't found a club? It's incredible. So hopefully he finds a club with West Ham. I feel sorry for West Ham. West Ham fans, they're complaining. What the hell? You waited all this window to find that one really good defender and you've come up with Axel Disasi. Kudos to you guys. But for us, I think Axel Disasi is game over. He's just not a good Chelsea level defender at all. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially Anselmino. Do you think it's unfair, the treatment? Let me know your thoughts. Should Chelsea Football Club do these sort of things on a regular basis? It's just, I feel like you're going to lose trust. You're going to lose faith. You're going to lose face value. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Hype helps with the channel's growth. Smash the bell notification. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.